Okay, well, good evening over here in the UK. This is Jess T for Bells and Gals, and this evening I am starting the first in a series of interviews with the male stars of country, Americana, of music, actually, of all genres. And tonight I am talking with the unbelievably talented Jack and Tim. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, thank you.
Good,
Hello.
thank you. That's a really nice
Yeah,
introduction.
that's the best
I
intro.
was gonna,
Yes.
That's the best intro we've had. Usually it's just today we're talking with Jack and Tim.
I was going to look behind us. I'm like, is anyone coming?
No, not at all. How are you both?
Good.
Great.
You're
Yeah.
tired. You've been in college. We
Yeah.
had normal life takes over, but we're good.
Yeah.
You've been busy
Hmm.
since you were first seen on the scene. Is that even a way of putting it? But on the entire music scene, you literally exploded in gold glitter in 2018 on Britain's Got Talent. You were the golden buzzer for Simon Cowell. It's a hell of an accolade. It's something fantastic to carry with you. I mean, it's the start of something, and it really was. How did you feel on that stage? Because I've got to ask you, we've got to go to the beginning. And I've got to ask you, how did you feel on that stage with the man himself?
It was a long time ago.
It does
So
feel like a lifetime, doesn't
It's
it?
a long time ago. So I guess in my mind it's a bit foggy.
You
But
were 11. 11,
yeah,
am I right? 11.
I'm a different person now. I'm almost 18.
Yeah.
So
He didn't shave at 11, so that's the difference.
but
as well.
it was great. It was
great.
great. I'm gonna skip over that.
Yeah.
You were still as charismatic and talented, and that's the most important thing, is that you had a stage presence, both of you, and certainly you, Jack. You really did. You were not afraid to talk on the scene and to talk about everything and
It was all about Jack.
Did you hear that? Especially Jack.
100%. 100%. And I'm still doing it for you. Apart from I'm loving it, I'm not going to lie. Apart from I'm loving it, the still main thing for me as a dad is to get you where I believe you could be.
Yeah, and I believe you because I think that must have not only been your proudest moment, but the proudest moment for your boy. I mean, that was a hell of a way to get seen. And you sung your own song, The Lucky Ones, and since then you have penned quite a few. We've had singles, we've had collections of singles, we've had EP. And you've been traveling back and forth to Nashville. You've got lots of stories to tell and lots of experiences, I think. I bet you've got some stories. I see that face.
We do.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've just put our heads down, and
I think if we're looking at, I can't think of the word chronologically. There you go. Okay. If we look at it chronologically,
I'm the smart one.
Yeah, it's true. After BGT, we came out and we did a small theatre tour, which was interesting. It was good. It was okay.
Yeah.
And then straight after that, it was kind of like, where do we go? I mean, we hired a radio plug-in team and a TV plug-in team, and we did some TV, some CBBC stuff. Do you remember that interview that we did with?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It was it's all good fun.
I mean, it's my TV stuff. Remember, we did the in between the weather bit with
with Andy
Andy
in the morning on.
That's a story.
That was funny.
That's a story. That's
I mean, that's legendary.
Yeah, that's a story. It's a funny story.
I thought you was talking about and we did Songs of Praise as well.
No, I was talking about Good Morning Britain.
Yeah, you could Good Morning Britain.
Oh, come on. This feels like name dropping a little. This feels like show dropping.
It was way back. Oh, honestly, straight after BGT. I mean, we also did, we sang on the single for NHS. That was with Seal. It was with McFly. It was with...
I was going to say Gary Barlow.
No, it wasn't. It was loads and loads and loads of stars, and that was super, super cool. I remember you standing when we were doing the video at Abbey Road, because we did the filming thing at Abbey. We were stood there on the
zebra crossing.
On the zebra crossing, and directly behind you was Sunita. And Sunita and Toya, Sunita had her arms on her and she kept going, I've got him. He's just fine. Everything's fine. He's so lovely. And I'm going, that's the whole thing was surreal.
I don't remember that.
No, she loved you. Yeah.
Your dad remembers. Don't worry about that. This is the thing. This is the thing. It does catapult you in such a so speedily, and perhaps you don't always get an opportunity to even know it's happening before it's already happened, and then you go, I mean, obviously there's so many stories of what happens next now. Thank God you guys are still going, and you have the support of each other and your family, and you're grounded guys, you know, grounded individuals in lots of ways. So you know, the industry thankfully hasn't had, you know, a negative impact on you as far as I can see. But did you feel that it may have done it at the time?
I think we went into it. Well, I certainly did, obviously, with him being 11. I'm there saying, if anything does happen from this, then we need to not rely on the fact we've been on TV. So it literally was nothing to do with it. As soon as we had an audience given to us, and to be fair, that's exactly what happens. You literally get given an audience. I think it's like 400 million views now overall on social media, all overall. Yeah. And my thought was to help. How can I capitalize for him and get it to a point where he can be seen where I see him? So what we did is we literally ignored the fact we're not Jack and Tim from BGT. We literally got our heads down straight away. We were writing, we were recording, and all these things that were coming in, we were thankfully accepting, but ignoring the fact they were there. Whereas I have seen, and you have seen, we've seen people in the past, they get on TV and they think, I've done it.
They think that's where it ends, or that's
literally
the main bit, but
suicide.
That's the start.
It is suicide. It is suicide. I think in lots of capacities, mentally, because you know you prime yourself for things, and the industry just isn't like that. We all know that. We're all very, very open and honest. We all talk very bluntly and supportively to each other about the fact that the industry can be quite a callous place to be. But
I mean, here's a callous thing. Here's a super callous thing for stories. I won't mention names, but within a week, the week before the final, a major label, that's all I'll say, a major label offered us £250,000 publishing deal.
Yeah.
And when we didn't win, they pulled it directly from us straight away. And so could you imagine within a week having been said, listen, I mean, this genuine words, we want you, we think you're great, we think the future's there for great, you know, we want you both, we want Jack as well, we want Jack for the future, and this is coming direct from head office, blah, 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 blah. I won't say their names, and direct from them, and the offer's £250,000. And we were like,
that's the same as the winning prize.
Yeah, I think we can handle that.
Of the show.
And so then
we were kind of like, no matter how it goes.
Yeah, we were thought we
won anyway.
Yeah. But then, so basically, to sum it all up, by the end of it, we'd lost $500,000.
yeah, because if we'd won, which we weren't counting on, me without doubt, Lost Voice guy, he deserved it.
No one's arguing that.
But if we'd have won, that would have been $500,000. And if we didn't win, in our head it was 250. So we thought we were sorted.
We were suckers.
Yeah. So you get that punch in the stomach, and you have to go with or without it, head down, trust the process.
I mean, we had a breakdown week where we were kind of just like lying in beds with migraines, saying this, you know.
Yeah, I think it's quite serious, you know. It's so heady to comprehend, isn't it?
And we're on BBC Radio 2, we did Virgin Radio, we did Radio London, we did all of the we did a live session with Chris Evans. It was all there, and for whatever reason you just can't second guess the industry. However, for the best thing about what being independent has done for us is that after 19 singles later, an album that we're finishing out in Nashville, we own all our masters. So if anybody streams us, everything comes to us, and it always will. So we do actually have I see that as a benefit. I mean, we own everything. We write it, we produce it. So everything is in our pockets.
I think, given that what we've seen in the industry in the last few years as well, and some of the cases that have risen in, you know, certain artists and companies, I think it's a really imperative situation, a circumstance to be in, to be able to own your own music, and
exactly.
you've been on quite a grand scale there, and you know how quickly people do want to take your credit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay as long as you have a very large check to go with it.
Precisely. And the thing is, you know, you guys are exceptionally talented, as I say, and I said you guys. And the thing is, you know, it's you can quite easily be taken advantage of, as you say, but you haven't been, and you know, you've got a great family ethic, and that's what it made everyone fall in love with you, made the audience fall in love with you, and you didn't just garner an audience just because of the show. You got it because of your talent and the way that you guys are portray yourselves, and the way that you came across. I'm probably loving on you today, but you guys are fabulous, and you know, you just gave us something that hadn't been seen before. It was really unique. So and what I love is that you've continued to do so. You're still writing music, you're still writing fantastic songs, some of which I've had the absolute pleasure of, you know, having exclusives on. Look at me there, I'm so excited. I have, and honestly, like Big House, you know, I just think some of these tracks that you know stand, they're so pregnant, there's messages, and so you don't just write they're not just poppy songs. And we'll come to the genre shortly, and we'll have a little thrash about that. But in actual fact, you know, you write songs that mean something. You do write together as well, and you don't argue.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had one before this interview.
Yeah, but the thing is at the end of the day, I'll say, well, I'm dad, and so.
Oh, what?
I gotta pull that.
Not fair, is it?
I don't. And not creatively.
Yeah, hey, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that, and the "it's not fair" doesn't work.
No, it's not fair. Doesn't work. I think. You know, working with a youngster as well, from my defence, is that you think you're writing something good, and then he'll say, "I just don't like that," and you're like,
"I know."
And it's so especially when he was younger. I
don't know what you I don't know what you expect when you ask the question. I've got this idea. What do you think? And I tell him what I think, and he goes,
"It's terrible, Dad." No. But there's always going to be a differing of opinion, and that's because obviously, you know, you have different perceptions on music, I suppose, and probably different tastes. It's probably similar, you know.
Very similar. But I say there are some bits where we are different for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine there are.
I'm more grime and hip hop than him.
What? My whole playlist is.
All right, I see.
Is that the truth? Is that the truth?
No, you're old music.
I'm not.
Old music. Listen, you have to be very careful when you say old music, because
you're an old man.
And what's in your playlist? There you go. We're having an argument. See.
And go. But talking about, you know, and I've just touched on genre, because you have all different flavors. I feel. I think there's a bit of rock. I think there's a bit of blues. I think there's certainly country and folk elements. Where is your inspiration?
To sum it up, we just write what we like, and it comes out, and then when we finish it, we go, "Oh, that sounds like that."
That's a little bit country, or that's a little bit this.
We've done songs like "Love Ain't Kind," where it's almost country rock at the start, and then it turns into some sort of Joe Bonamassa,
heavy rock
end, and that's not on purpose. We don't really go into a session thinking, let's write a rock song, or let's write.
I think genres should be. I don't think any artist should be quashing their creativity. I mean, like this recent single that we completely messed up the timing with, releasing Valentine's Day.
I know, but it's so cool.
it was released on the 18th rather than, but the video came out.
We just couldn't finish it on time. So because you're independent, you're kind of like, I can't mix all this and we can't do all this. It was just a mess up, but it's okay. We were like, it doesn't matter.
The video came out on the 14th.
Video came
out on the 14th.
But Valentine's Day is a love song anyway. But to have the African influences in that, I mean, it just got to that point with that song where
it made sense.
We were listening to Paul Simon, Graceland, and it was like, wouldn't it be cool to have something in there that kind of had that? Because we both love African music. I love African music way back to Graceland and Lady Smith, Black Mambazo, and
now you're talking.
Yeah, and so when that element came in, I was like, this is crazy. I just Googled. I said I need an African choir. And we're in Norfolk, so I just Googled Norfolk African choir, and there was one.
Yeah, which is those are the lovely women that are in the video as well. They dance while they sing, and they have their full on gowns, and they look beautiful. And we
shout out to Anna, she's amazing.
Yeah,
and so I just sang this melody backing vocal thing. And we tried to find something that would fit Valentine's Day. And the Swahili word for Valentine's Day or a day for lovers is Sikuya Wapanda Now. And that just scanned perfectly.
And it all worked with it. And we obviously asked, just in case Google Translate had messed us up. Because we're not, that's what we use. We don't speak.
Always good to check.
We don't speak Swahili, so we asked them if it was, and they said it is. Yep. Well, that's what it is, but we were saying it differently. Pronunciation.
So I don't think artists should say. I mean, even though we love country and everything we write, you go, well, that's definitely a little bit country there, but we don't go out to make it. Apart from, this is why the Nashville album has taken us so long. Because we must have written 3 albums.
Trying to get the right songs to fit that right perfect genre. I know.
Well, because we entered it with the wrong mindset.
Yeah, completely.
We entered it with thinking we're good. It's the Nashville album. That's where country is. That's what country is. Let's go there and write country. And then it just felt generic. It wasn't us. It wasn't right.
I mean, I love it, but even I love the generic stuff, but you can hear that backing track on a country radio time after time after time. The whole thing sounds the same.
And it may have been a good song, a great song for someone else, but not for us.
Yeah, and so we chased that for a little while. And we've got some really good songs, but they won't see the light of day from us. And now we've come full circle back round to honesty, truth. If it moves, see, everything we've ever released, if it moves us, we release it. And if it hasn't moved us at all, we've done.
I love that sentiment, and I couldn't agree with you more. I always talk about genre blending and the fact that we don't box ourselves into anything. And I love country. I love the country genre more than anything in the world, but I also think it has so many different tangents and derivatives that come from it. And you don't know what a song's going to be till you write the song.
No.
It just doesn't work like that. It's so hard to pinpoint, I'm going to write this. And then when I've tried it myself and it doesn't sound anything like that, and you go, well, I've just completely confused myself.
Yeah, I think the point is for us, song is everything. The genre really doesn't matter, but
that's why it is very.
What you need to say what you need to say, and get it out in the most beautiful melody you can find, and I think that's it.
That's why it is stressful that we wrote 3 Nashville albums, and we're on the 4th, which
You're
is the right one. This is the 4th.
You haven't written 3 Nashville. They're 3.
Those 3 are never going to come out.
They're never going to come. They'll not see the light of day right now. But I think for us, after doing this Valentine single with the African thing, we've now decided after the Nashville album, which will be in the summer, we're going to release an African-inspired EP, which Valentine's Day is going to be a part of. So there's going to be more of that, because we just found it so moving to hear, because it's so earthy. It's just felt so.
Yes, it is. It's cultural. It's flavoursome. It's colourful.
Yeah,
and it's really evocative of. It's very emotive, isn't it?
Yeah, extremely, especially when you're recording and you can hear it and the life it brings, and it defies the language barrier. It doesn't matter. It's just the emotion. And so that's what we will be doing.
That's what's coming next. And what else? Because you guys have you have brands associated with you, your ambassadors. You work with a lot of you work with a lot of Nashville folk. You are backwards and forwards. What is to come from you? What's happening this summer? Where can we see you as well?
Well, pretty soon, in about a couple of weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we're going back to Nashville. But this time we're going for 3 months.
You're going for
that's a long stay, and we'll be finishing or finishing writing the album.
Probably say finishing. Don't be too.
That's why I said finishing writing.
Yeah, good idea.
But we're going there in March.
Back in Nashville, and we're actually heading there. We're calling this between us. We're calling this the big push, because we're heading to Nashville. Because last March we did a tour, which was insane, because it's really, really, really difficult to get people to come out and see you in this country. Yeah, we went.
They're ciphers, and they're and Coronation Street.
And then, but we went to Nashville, and people still. There's this weird thing with America and us. Like looking at your statistics and your analytics, over 60%, 60-70% of our fan base is American.
Really? So I am surprised. I say this, I make a joke, but actually I found that the UK fans are fiercely loyal and they travel everywhere. So really, have you found that they're predominantly US?
We definitely
to find the UK fans. Where are you?
I know.
There.
We definitely find that, I don't know what it is, they just like us out there. And I mean, as you were saying, they're kind of closing down venues here. You can't really fill them and that. But we were out in New York and we had sold it out.
Yeah, we'd sold out several shows, and so being in the center of New York City and selling out a show, and the other venues as well. You turn up and people know who you are. Still, we were being in Nashville. Him at his age now, we still get people coming over and saying, "Hey, it's Jack and Tim," and they knew who he was in the gas stations when we were in the tour bus and
petrol.
Petrol stations. Yeah,
he likes it there too much. He's trying to be American.
The gas.
Don't blame him.
So it is. How can you not be enamored by a country that wants to hear the most of you? I mean, we love it in the UK, but I think the live music side of it and getting people to come out, and the support for independent artists, I do think in every genre, and I'm going to be honest, is no, completely. There are a lot of people that say you've got our support, and it doesn't matter what genre that is. There's no support. The support means, can we sell tickets for our thing? And that's what that means. There's a lot of self in promotion.
Yep.
So sorry if that offends any.
Listen, I'm all about truth and speaking up, and I'm well aware of how difficult it can be to sell shows, and we are, post pandemic, we are still fighting hard to get bums on seats and to get tickets sold and to get people out there and buying merch and supporting artists. So I absolutely do see it, and I
that's good, but they shouldn't be taking, promoters shouldn't, this day and age, they should not be taking a percentage of the artist merch, period. Have nothing to do with that. You have no right to it. That's it. We don't take a percentage of the bar sales. It shouldn't be done.
It's a current argument that is very much at the forefront of a lot of artists' minds at the moment.
Yeah, it's a deep hole to go down to. It's a deep hole to go down to.
It is. So America's great for us.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of UK people that love you. I can assure you, I know, because I've had them listen in and say they love your music and they love what you do. And so always look at us favorably as well. But I think, certainly the US has so much to offer. It's so vast, and there's so many different types of music that are accepted. And so I'm glad that you're out there and doing what you want to do. And
it's hard.
Yeah, we're not abandoning this country.
No. Good.
I believe in you. We're just going in between.
Yeah.
And we might be putting 60% of our focus there.
This year, for definite.
For this year, but we're British boys.
Yeah,
through and
completely.
You are indeed.
Financially, it's so difficult still. I mean, there's no... it's not a big earning thing to be an artist or a musician, period.
Or an independent.
Or an independent artist. So actually that leads us on, potentially, could we just say that we do now have a subscription package, which gets people, gets people...
I do a plug, that's what we're here for, that's all right.
So if you go to the website, jackandtinmusic.com,
you can get access to never seen before footage from back in the day, backstage at BGT, backstage shows, backstage.
It's almost like a
history.
And it's almost like a Patreon style kind of thing, but rather than going through that, we cut the middleman out, and it's straight from us to you. Different levels, different stages, you get different things, and
I like these different concepts. I think it's really inventive and a good idea for artists to think of different ways to because something everyone can learn from one another, so it's different ways to garner some income.
Well, we have to. Don't, every penny from your release goes back into to the next one.
And we've done fundraisers before, and this time we just wanted to give something back.
Yeah, you can't keep asking without
keep
offering.
please. So with this,
we basically opened up our personal library of. I mean, people might see, like in the videos for behind the scenes in our music videos, there's a little bit of swearing. I am sorry.
Yeah.
A little bit, but not from him.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he does do Michael Jackson dancing. You'll get to see
don't
that.
Spoil it, because then they won't get it. But and it's just, I think it's a good way to support each other as an artist and as an audience.
Yeah.
And so if you are interested, then
go to the website.
Indeedy. So, okay, over to Nashville. 3 months, going to churn out lots more music, I hope. And then, is there a possibility of a UK tour, please?
We were hoping to. We would love that. I think after
we'd love that.
Come play with us. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we were hoping to get the Nashville album out for summer, and then the EP, the kind of Graceland Paul Simon EP, which might be an album. You never know. And then we were hoping to do a theatre tour with the so that would be super. Just a small theatre tour.
We can do those collections of EPs plus some of the songs on the Nashville album and all of that. And just make it a show.
But it's finding the right promoter for that, because I mean, we've done like White Rock in Hastings, Shrewsbury Theatre and that before,
Theatre Academy,
which are quite. No, we didn't do that one in the end.
Did we not?
Yeah, no, it didn't sell. Just didn't sell. So we were like, didn't sell enough.
You ain't got to out us like that.
It's fine. It happens to everyone.
You know what? No, this is what I'm thinking, is that you're being honest, and I think that's really important, because there are always aspiring artists, and I'm not ever one to burst bubbles. Never burst bubbles, never burst dreams. But a dose of reality is absolutely imperative in this industry. You need to know what you're getting into, and you need to do it. But you got to do it for the love. Otherwise, forget it.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, everybody does give you the best versions of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And to a point, we do as well. But the bottom line is, it is super difficult. It is super difficult to continue.
We're trying our best.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the most important thing. You certainly are trying your best. You're writing some absolutely phenomenal songs, and you've always put out decent messages and messages of hope and honor, and how to treat each other and to be kind. And I think those are the most important messages, certainly for me, and in what I believe in. So that's why I've always supported you guys and loved your music. And I'm so glad that I finally got a chance to catch up with you and find out, you know, what you're like together, because, you know, we've seen you on stage and we've seen the videos, but it's just lovely to see the energy between the two of you. It's still very much there.
Oh, trust me, when the camera's off, fists are flying.
You don't speak for a week.
That guitar there, this one in the corner, that's not even a guitar. That's just to smash each other with.
It's a WWE one.
We've got some plastic chairs in there in case it ever gets too...
You know what? Love-hate is a fine line, isn't that right?
Well, I'm all the love. I'm not quite.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, guys, honestly, it's been such a joy to speak to you tonight. It really, really has, and I can't wait to have another chat when you're back from Nashville, and you can give us an idea of where you're going next and what the music. I can't wait to hear this African album. That's going to be amazing.
I know, right?
That's us too.
We're kind of that's the one that's really super exciting is at the moment is the fact that
we can't abandon this album.
No, Nashville album first. Nashville album first.
Yeah. You know what you need to do, so go do it, and I can't wait to see what you bring back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for meeting with me tonight, and for being the first in my new series of Bells and